Hi, Sully. This is Scott Hunsker with Caldwell Banker Preferred. Hey, just wanted to give you a quick update here. I was just chatting with you here. I had to re-record this. Unfortunately, the last video that I had sent out to you is lost. Just wanted to show you a little bit about Joe's website here and some of the advertising that he does, and show you some of the properties that he puts together and how he advertises them. So we'll just take a quick look. Here's one on Gravel Pike right now. And he's got information in there, and then he's got a one page basically showing that. Let me go ahead and pull this down here a little bit so that we can make it a little bit more visible in the active screen. So yeah, he gives additional information on the individual site, and then he advertises out to that. He's got his little testimonials over here. So that's his website. Some of what I do is I've got some branded and unbranded pages. I generated a page on Facebook called Montgomery Real Estate Hub, and I only did this particular one a couple weeks ago. It's already got about 525 likes. The number of likes actually gives you credibility and moves you up in the search engine optimization. So if I advertise here, I get more traffic, I get some organic traffic, and I get some traffic from what I actually advertised. So I do a lot of luxury living homes here. I do lists of foreclosures, some properties that I have listed, and just general information, so they can get market insider information here for Collegeville. They can access all that. Here's some of the advertising we're doing for a weekly list of Collegeville area foreclosures. This draws in a lot of investors, believe it or not, and so I've got a few investors in my database that have just been generated from this particular ad. Can get estimates on what their properties are worth, and it gives them the ability to access that here. But really what I wanted to talk to you about is how I would go ahead and generate some activity for your particular property. And you can see some of the reach here that I'm getting on some of these properties when I'm going ahead and advertising. This is Lippincott Estate. This is actually where the story that was written as I think it was a Trapp family story was written and used in The Sound of Music, and they've asked me to sort of help with some of the advertising there, and that's what I was doing in this particular page as well. Some past listings I've had versus buy, and so what I'd like to do here is actually post an advertisement for a free list of land in the area, and then drive them to what essentially is a lead funnel, and I'll show you what a lead funnel is here. So if I would drop them out onto a landing page, I put these together, and this landing page allows me to collect information on the folks. So for that free weekly list of land deals instead of luxury executive property deals in Bluebell, that would go there, and of course I'd show a piece of property in here, maybe with a nice picture of a waterfall or something crazy like that. Try a bunch of different ads, so it would be probably about 20 different ads that do the same thing. Turn them all on, see which one performs the best, and start turning off the ones that don't really perform well. So that would generate some additional email activity, and then from there I would drop them into a drip campaign. And so here are some of the drip campaigns that I'm currently running. These are automatic, so when I get the email address, they automatically get updates weekly, of course. And there are several ticklers in here that just sort of ask for some additional information as to whether or not they're just curious, or whether they're looking at properties, or they're serious. It also talks about financing in case they would need financing. There's in some of the cases with those landing pages, I have a secondary landing page which helps direct them to financing deals. The reason for that is because I collect additional information for each path that I walk them down, and it all drives it back to my website. So again, these drip campaigns, if I went into any one of these, let's pick the Lansdale foreclosure area, and I've got day 0, day 1, day 13, all the way down and through until they finally stick their head up and they say something, hey, I'm interested, or they give me some sort of response on what I was requesting here. So this is just one example. I forgot to ask this yesterday. If you'd like me to set up a custom property list for you, just hit reply and let me know some of the specifics of what you're looking for. So they're ticklers, you know, it's to try and get them to respond. So this is sort of how I generate those additional leads, and of course I'm working those leads to, you know, to try and generate business for you. Let's just take a look at where this drops you out. We'll go to a little bit later one here, and it says click here for your list. If you click on that, it basically takes you back to my website, and my website, you know, has all the information. What I've done here is sort of prioritized it to drive the ones I really wanted to see to the top of this list. And I haven't done that here with this foreclosure list, but I typically do it, especially with luxury properties that I was helping to advertise. That Lippincott estate would essentially be right at the top of this list so that people can see it then. So what's so special about that? Well, once they're in there, one of the things I can do is I can go to my dashboard and I can physically see who has visited the website and who's online. I can even go and I can check out to see what they've viewed, and we'll get a better example here because I know somebody that's really doing some intense searching right now. And so I've got all their contact information, of course, in my database. It's all right there. But here are some of the alerts that they've set up for their particular house and where they want to look. And then I can also see what they've saved, you know, what they really are attracted to, and I can see all the properties they've taken a look at and the number of times they've viewed them. So do a sort on that, and I know which ones they're really, really, truly interested in, and I can start sending them additional information. So hopefully that would be your piece of property or land. So it tells me exactly where I need to focus my follow-up. Okay, in addition to that, I do set up a dedicated web page just for your particular property. This one happens to have 25 acres of property with it that I'm currently listing. It's over in Harleysville. It actually has a house with it. This is right along the Perkiomen Creek, and the Indian River Creek comes into it. But it's a place where I can actually, you know, go ahead and advertise to and give the folks a nice landing page, a place to look at and see the actual property that I have in there. So some of the pictures that we took of that particular property, and up and down the screen we did some nice panoramic views on this one, and a virtual tour as well on this particular property. This gives me the capability to share it on Facebook and advertise to it. So that's sort of a nutshell of what some of the things I've got going. Hold on a second. Okay, so in addition to that, I also I generate sometimes multiple pages, landing pages. This one this is actually a commercial property as well as a residential property altogether over in Lower Bucks County. And this one actually required something that was a little more content rich, and what I mean by content rich, lots of pictures with a little bit of description here and there to sort of illustrate what's going on. Videos work well in here. 15-second videos really attract a lot of attention as well, especially on the Facebook pages. So this particular property, you know, I put in some really, really nice photos of the property. This one has there's the actual commercial space. That's the office space that they have with this. This guy ran a heating and air conditioning system out of this particular place. So I put a little bit of dialogue in here. Back of the house, this is a monster home. It actually has an indoor pool on this one. Joe and I have this listed together. So he has it on LoopNet. I have it on the residential listing and on, I guess, the commercial multi-list as well. And then we have additional pictures below, and you know, a little bit of a place to have some dialogue and provide comments. Just more on the pictures. It's very content rich in terms of showing them nice, big, professional, colorful pictures of the particular property. This one, in a lot of different spots, I have links that are set in here. So want a bunch more information, click here. It drives them basically out to my standard web page. and I've got a bunch of different places where I can do that. Want a virtual tour? Click here, it does the same thing, drives them out to those other pages. So I can capture their information. Second story for, like additional information, click here, keep going. I got a change I got to make on this site. I just noticed that. This has a mother-in-law suite as well. It's more like a mother-in-law house. It's a monster home. It's well over 8,000 square feet. The office space is another 1,800. We got like 5 bays on the garages, and they're all heated here. So then again, it gives them spots to just drop out into the website so that we can track them and gather the information on the property. But we do some advertising just directly to this page. So it's constantly active. There's constantly things going on. It's not just, okay, we advertise once quarterly and see what happens. We're constantly driving traffic in this particular direction, and when we're seeing that drop off, because we've got analytics which show us when we're getting traffic, when we're not getting traffic, we do a little bit more advertising, continue to drive traffic in that direction. So it's very active. It's not just a passive listing where we throw it up on the MLS and see what happens. Anyway, I hope that gives you a general flavor. There's a lot of other stuff I'm doing. Also, I apologize, this is going on a little longer than I wanted it to, but I do something called Facebook syndication. There's a company called City Blast, which I use, and they have cooperation with a lot of other agents. And so when I post it out, the City Blast, it syndicates out on other Facebook pages. So what that means is I get exposure to 500 of their friends, and for each person it syndicates out to, it's an additional 250 to 500 people that get to see it. And that's if they're not doing advertising. If they're doing advertising, will get greater levels of exposure. The reason Facebook is so important is that people spend 3 times the amount of time on Facebook than they do on any other internet website. That includes Google, Bing, Zillow, Trulia, ListHub, whatever it happens to be, Realtor.com. 3 times the amount of time they spend anywhere else on the net. And so it's extremely important that Facebook become a part of any advertising and scheme, well, don't want to call it a scheme, but any means of getting exposure for your particular property. So this is where we're really strong compared to a lot of other agents, and just wanted to more or less give you a little bit of a flavor for what's available for us. Take care. Have a great day.